Welcome to our novel, Sons of Power. Hit that like button and subscribe to our channel if you have not done so already.
On December 31st, 1989, Princess Ayila gave birth to her last son, against all expectations, as many believed she was already past her fertile years. The healthy baby boy was named Julius Caesar, Prince of the Cariades. Following the birth of his junior son, a proud Makarios was fueled by a deep sense of duty and a burning desire to combat the malevolent grip of corrupt tycoons in Central Africa. He waged an unwavering media battle against those who ensnared the political elite in their web of bribes to secure mining permits. He tirelessly sought to dismantle the dark shadow cast upon the territories of the once Kitonga Imperium. Little did I know that his involvement in these blessed lands would invite calamity upon our doorstep, a tragedy that would forever haunt our hearts. Karl one day expressed his anxieties about his father's safety, ominously drawing parallels to the ruthless tactics employed during the Cold War era by those willing to sacrifice all for economic gains. The lad's wisdom was profound, but our hubris blinded us to the wisdom in his words. After all, he was but a boy, an innocent boy. On that gruesome day of February 24th, 1994, tens of thousands descended upon the streets of Mayonda, a city conceived by the Kombo administration to rival the grandeur of Kigoma. The cause of this upheaval was Kombo's audacious declaration to partake in the forthcoming general elections, a move we had anticipated but hoped against. The serpent behaved precisely as expected, leaving Lord Felix with limited recourse. The Constitution had deemed his third term his last, yet he brazenly altered its text through a hastily convened Parliament session. Naturally, the text had to be approved by Lord Felix. However, the monarch confirmed he had no intention to sign the amendment into law. As a result of this bold declaration, the people showed their support to the imperial clan, isolating Kombo further from a potential fourth term. Mayonda became a battleground for the disenchanted, and soon other cities followed suit. In a desperate bid to quell the uprising, the Prime Minister deployed the military, unleashing a brutal wave of repression. Meanwhile, my son Makarios, together with his wife Ayila, were far away in Washington, D.C., visiting their children. Karl and Caesar, accompanying them to reunite with their beloved siblings after months apart, had no inkling of the impending horror. As I pressed Felix to consider a military intervention, a dreadful piece of news pierced through the veil of my office's walls, shattering all semblance of hope. My beloved son, Demetrius Makarios, the Crown Prince, met his untimely demise in a fiery car explosion outside their residence in the American capital, along with Prince Epaminondas, his eldest son. Karl, Caesar, and their mother witnessed the unspeakable tragedy. They owed their lives to a simple childhood keepsake, the watch I had gifted Karl on his 7th birthday, which the lad forgot before getting in the car. Somehow Makarios ordered his mother to go with him while he moved the car. Caesar followed behind them as he wanted to use the restrooms, leaving Makarios and Epaminondas alone in the vehicle. The explosion struck as they were returning to the automobile. A little while after, Makarios started the engine, which was idling before the detonation. Ayila and her sons were in shock. Princess Ria, traveling from Boston to reunite with her family, was met at the airport by Polynesian Marines attached to the embassy, only to be confronted with the heart-wrenching sight of her remaining family in a state of shock. The tragic event struck with such devastating force that I lost consciousness, unable to fathom the words uttered by the head of the Praetorian Guard as he relayed the horrific news. When my senses gradually returned, I immediately directed Ayila and the children to seek refuge in the Cariades. A gnawing suspicion crept into my heart, whispering that supporters of Kaha might have orchestrated this heinous act, seeing the potential gains if Karl and Caesar had perished as well. Lord Felix, upon hearing of the grave news, departed immediately for Washington to support me in these difficult times. In Washington, we were received by President Richter himself, who pledged his full support for the investigation. 7 anguished days passed in the heart of the American capital before we parted ways, each returning to our respective nations. In Kitonga, disbelief shrouded the people, and amidst the clash of conflicting emotions, mourning descended upon the land. Through their amazing tribute to my son, the people of Kitonga assured me of their support, something that deeply touched my heart.
In the next episode, the death of Prince Makarios leads Emperor Mahina to reshuffle his imperial cabinet, appointing key people in the army, and designating a new heir, one too young to rule, but whose destiny was already foretold. We appreciate the time you took to watch the entirety of our video and would be honored to count you among our new subscribers. Thus, if you have not done it yet, we invite you to hit the subscribe button here and click on the notification bell to be notified about our upcoming videos. We are hoping to count you among our viewers in the next episode. See you then. Cheers.